now.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here with Thierry Gaudin, and he's a really beautiful friend from Paris. And we are going to talk today about this amazing video he's created, and also about the system of Reiki and my new book. And anyway, it's going to be a wonderful conversation. We just play it by ear and see what happens. So, Thierry, tell me a little bit about your video.
Okay, so it's called We Are the Earth. It started 3 years ago. I was feeling really low. I was practicing Reiki already, but I was really struggling with do not worry about the future and the shape of the earth, and I was also struggling with do not anger, with the lack of actions from our governments. So I was feeling really down, and I went to a walk for climate, and it really boosted me up. It was really great. A lot of energy, a lot of joy, a lot of young people, and it really made my day. And I couldn't believe I could get from the low point I was to this energy state I was right after. So I thought right away, okay, I want to help this movement. And also, I want to find a way to get back to this energy on my own without 10,000 people working around me. so
Yeah.
so I had an idea of a song. I worked with a young composer. He was 23 years old at the time, and we digged in our references like punk music, rock music, gay music from the 80s with the AIDS movement, fighting AIDS movement, and also rap music and all of stuff. And we tried to do a song about it, and we did. And right after that, I thought we need images on this. And since I worked a lot in animated cartoons, I thought maybe the way to translate the best how I felt and how we can get from this low point to this powerful point would go way better with the cartoons and abstract images. So
Yeah.
I gathered a crowd of artists, and we together put up We Are the Earth.
I like the title too, because I often say in my classes, we think that, we say, oh, I'm going to walk in nature, but we are nature, we are the earth. And I think that's a really powerful message, because that also means that we have to really be kind to ourselves, because if we the earth, then that will affect the earth. And we have to be kind to other people, because that also affect the earth. And it's also interlinked. And yeah, I really think that is a fantastic message in the video itself. Yeah.
What I actually figured out for myself in the video, that because I have a meditation path and a spiritual path, which is really strongly following Reiki, the Reiki path, and I do believe that it's quite political to meditate and to do Reiki, because it's really a way of freedom. Because if my actions are led by anger, I want to put down people that gets on my nerves, or by worries, I want to be safe, or I want to, and I panic. It leaves me no choice of action. While if I can be conscious, and doesn't mean that okay, everything's fine, everything's great, which is the big lie about spiritual path, because it doesn't mean okay, I'm on a spiritual path, so I think everything's great and fine. It's just
Yeah.
being conscious that everything that is, and what choices do I have as a being in front of these events. And if I'm led by anger or by worries, I'm not being myself. I'm not being conscious, and I don't have any choices. So, which is why I find this very political and very strong as a way to freedom and to free each other and to free ourselves. That's
I think absolutely. I mean, I think when I think about a spiritual practice and feeling that spaciousness, that openness, that inner freedom of love and kindness, that automatically changes everything around you. I see this. I travel a lot around the world teaching this, but then just seeing it at airports, how we interact. If we interact with more kindness, even the plane is delayed or doesn't go at all, then you can act with anger, but it's not going to help me. But if I then act with kindness and okay that I talk to the flight attendant or the person behind the counter, I get a very different reaction, and it is so important that we start to realize that. For me, it's also when we plant this seed. I talk about this too in my new book, The Way of Reiki, is when we plant that seed of anger and worry, then we get more anger and worry. But if I plant that seed of light, what you are also explaining in your video, that light of love and kindness and compassion, then that is what we are also emanating more and more and more.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that I still feel very angry and very worried about things, about decisions. But what I try to remember and what Reiki helps me remember is that we are not little things. We are really powerful. We have power. And I do feel actually, I want to thank you because as a teacher, and not everyone is like that in spiritual world. You don't pretend to have a power over anyone. You don't have, I am the light, you need to follow to get out. You're telling us that every single one of us is the light. And society, our parents, they do their best, but and our education put shades over. I love this image that you use, I think, at some point, that we are light when we are born, and then we put shades and shades, layers of shades until there's no light. We are just a huge bunch of shades. And all the work is to remember to put off the shades and remember that we are something big and powerful, and we can do a lot of good just in our surroundings.
Yeah, I think that comes really true in your video too. When you talk about power, I think often people get like, oh, power is overpowering, but when we talk about powerful compassion, or for me, that inner light of the power of the inner light of love and kindness, that's a very different power than oppressive power. And I love it when in the video they put the hands of light against the wall and it suddenly starts to transform. Just even now, it gives me goosebumps, because I think, I've watched the video now a few times, maybe 10. I think the lyrics are fantastic. B, the sound or the way it's sung, or I don't know how I have to say it. I'm not like a music director, but the beat, the music behind the lyrics is really young, is really fresh. And I think this creates a fantastic message for younger people who say, oh, this song is fantastic. Not just the music, like I could dance on it in a way, and at the same time,
you can if you want.
Yeah, but it's got a really good beat. The beat for me itself almost feels like a heartbeat, like it's the heartbeat of the earth. And then the lyrics combined with it, and if you see the video, is just that whole combination, I think, is very, very, very powerful. And it made me think a little bit of Stromae, like he sometimes creates his wonderful lyrics and then these powerful imagery and images. And I think it's good that artists these days make music what actually help people to understand how we can change for the better. So it's not, of course it's nice when we have songs about love and blah, 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 but this is also, I think, is really essential.
I think love has been a huge part of this in this project, because the way we don't separate anymore power and love. I think that's the big issue of our world. That power and love are mostly. I think it's Martin Luther King who said that one of the biggest problem of history is that love and power have been thought to be separated, and
Yeah,
that's the shame of it, because. Power without love is just abusive and oppressive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. I think he said something like that. So,
yeah,
meaning like to bring the two together and remember who we are. Who we are. We are not small things. We are huge. We can do a lot of, because the more we are to feel that way and to work on it, because it's a discipline, not to feel low and to which is why the practice of Reiki, of meditation, I think if all our governments could just sit and do nothing for 2 hours every day, I think things will go way better, because at some point they have to see, okay, what are we doing exactly?
yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
and giving the beat, the heartbeat, things like that. It's been a lot of there's been a lot of work to think how to be fair and to be just, and not to say people, come on, wake up, and it's just, softly, gently, but powerfully. You can try to remember who you are. You are not anything. You are not nothing. You are a lot of things. Just try to remember it, and
yeah,
you'll see things happening. So it's really being gentle, and I listened to a lot of ecological protest songs that were saying we are crap, we do anything, the humanity should go to waste, and the world will be fine. But I think we are the world, and we are the world, and we are part of the solution if we remember who we truly are, who we
yeah.
truly
I,
are.
yeah, I mean, like I was just talking in my class here in Los Angeles about this, and because when we think about, often people say, "Oh, but when we're human, we have the right to be angry and worry, etc." But actually, the word "human" comes from the word "humane." In France, humane, and when we're humane, we kind of compassionate. So I think now when we have all these lampshades, we get so distracted with all the worry and stuff like that. We're not really human or humane anymore. We've become a little bit like zombies, and I think that's also great in your video where you talk and you show that we're so distracted by this imagery on television, on phones, etc. And then also it becomes very difficult to find that humanness, that humaneness within ourselves, that light, that brightness again. And I love this Taoist quote, when they say, "Oh, if you want to change the world, you have to first change the country. If you want to change the country, you have to change the community. If you want to change the community, you have to change how you live in your house. If you want to change the way you live in your house, you have to change yourself." And it really, as you say, it comes first to our personal practice and finding this powerful light of love and compassion. And then if we stand up in that power of love and compassion, we could definitely change the world. Absolutely.
Exactly. And what I was trying also is to humbly to build a bridge between spirituality and protesters, because the left wing in France, it's a lot about sacrifice. It's a lot about and I think pretty much everywhere around the world, people who are suffering because of poverty, we have a tendency to think we need to sacrifice ourselves and to forget about ourselves. We need to take care of the world and others before we take care of ourselves. And
Yeah.
I've been thinking that way for a long time, and I think something must shift a bit. I think we need to realize that we need to take care of the world as well as we take care of ourselves, and reciprocal, and the other way around. Because if we take care of the world and forget about ourselves, we're not doing, I think, a lot of good, because we are being in terrible shape. We are not being very kind to our kids, and we damage the cause, I think, we fight for. So it's how to be nice to ourselves and to take care of the world as well as we take care of ourselves. And we can do both. We can do both.
I think this is really important because, you know, like, for example, say, often we say this, you know, like, oh, this person, say we're a group here in the room and an angry person walks in and we go, oh, I could really feel this one angry person walking in the room. Well, imagine not just one angry person, but 7 billion angry people in the world. What an effect that has, not just only on other people, but also on nature ultimately, because we're all interconnected, right? So therefore, then imagine if these 7 billion people or whatever amount, right, suddenly transform more, as you show also in the song and in the imagery and in the lyrics, into that light, then man, that will be a whole different shift.
And we will be more powerful altogether, because the TV shows and the screens are there to put us down and to make us angry, mostly angry at each other, actually, because that's so much easier to be angry at each other than to really think that what's wrong in this world. So yeah, it's a process. It's a process, and I have kind of faith in this process because I experienced it myself, and maybe I think we could, through meditation, Reiki, or anything, get there somehow, and remember that we can change the world. Every single one of us, all together, we can change the world. I do believe that now.
I think that's another wonderful message in your video, you know, that let's hold hands together in that light of kindness and compassion, in that powerful light, you know. And I think it's so important. And as you say, you know, the screen time, television, phones, etc. I always think, if we imagine, if we are angry and fearful and worried and that kind of thing, we're actually really easily manipulated, right? We actually become very unstable. But if we feel very, therefore, I think also that love, that power, but when you feel that light, you feel really strong within yourself. That becomes something quite different, you know, and it becomes a whole different movement. And I think this is what we need to do. And this is why I really like your message, like that song, I like the video, I like the audio. I think it's a really profound message to say to people, but also the young generations, hey, wake up, you know, wake up from that sleep of ignorance and remember your light of love and kindness. And in that light, of course, shit still happens, but let's stand up together and be kind. And also, you know, as you say, yeah, we can fight against it again and again and again and again, but then we become also aggressors, you know. And for me, I think it's better to stand up in that powerful light of love and kindness and compassion. And then the more people who do that, the stronger it will become. Yeah.
And be aware that it's not being weak to be in this love. It's really strong. And I actually am very pleased to have this chat with you, because you've got a part of it, and you're a bit in it. Your teachings and the way you transmit Reiki with this power of love, this simplicity too. The way you keep it simple, and don't create a new religion or hierarchy. You're just going straight to the point, and go straight to the light within you guys, and just work. Just be disciplined, just work, and just do the work, and see what happens. But I don't make any promises, and I'm not your guide in the night. I think that's really important. The way you stand and the way you represent Reiki, for me, it's I have a few teachers, and every single one of them must be in this way of being. So you share things, and you tell us that now you're on your own. You just do the work. I give you the keys. You take them. You don't, but just do the work and see what happens. And it's both humble and extremely powerful, and it gives me a lot of freedom. So I really want to thank you for that, which is why I wanted to share the video with you, because a few of those teachings are in the lyrics and in the video.
Yeah, I can clearly see that. So thank you. It's really empowering, because for me it's that, again, when we hold hands, there is this ripple effect, like what can spread, even, and as you say, it's not being weak, it's actually super powerful. And there's exercises sometimes I do in class to actually show that, how powerful it can be. And yeah, I think that's definitely needed in this world. I think you told me also that you won already an award for it, right? For something.
Oh, we did. We did. We were in festival in June, and we were really we were a bit off, because it was really documentaries and TV spots, and it was corporate films. So, but I managed to show the film, and people didn't quite know to do with it, but they really enjoyed it, and they gave it a prize anyway, even though it wasn't quite matching. So, but we got a very nice silver prize, because people were moved, and they weren't expecting to be moved in such a. They were expecting to be informed or to be angry, but not to be moved. so it was really cool to that the film created that.
Yeah, this is, I like what you say, to be moved, and for me, that was definitely, still, when I think about the lyrics, the music, the imagery, the whole package, what you have created, I feel moved. And true, I think when we feel moved, when we feel moved somewhere from inside of ourselves, we go, I can do this too. I can also be this light. And so for me, it's a really powerful message to say, yeah, again, let's wake up. And I think this is it, when we read a book and we feel moved, or a movie we feel moved, or we hear some music and we feel moved, then that actually is definitely a trigger for further development. And so, yeah, I hope this song is going to break the records everywhere. I mean, we need to get this out there.
We are trying, and I really like what you said, because it's this song was meant to give people energy, and then you do whatever you like with this energy. It's not go to the country and march and protest. You do whatever you like with it. It's yours. And if you want to write books, do films, do human banking, be nice to your neighbor, whatever you like, whatever is your work and your job, we can do a lot of things, whatever our jobs are. This is really a strong belief. They are not wrong or right jobs. There are a few jobs that I wouldn't wouldn't do, but really it's the message. There is no saying you should do this or that. It's just, we have this power within us. Let's realize that and do whatever we feel with it.
Yeah, fantastic. Do you have any new project coming up?
I do, actually. I have a comic strip, and for young people, and it's called The Children of the Tree.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's actually, I did a comic strip with two young people nowadays. It was an adventure comic strip, and we ended this series with my artist. And we decided, what if we were to put them 50 years in the future, and in a world where ecology, collective thinking, and solidarity had won. So in a world where we actually try to manage we live with the climate change, and there are huge storms and things like that. and there are a few leftovers of the old world that want to break it. But there is a society that actually managed to go the next step after.
Yeah, I think this is another interesting point actually, because often we see these movies on television, cinema, etc., and most of the time when it's projected in the future, there's disaster. But I would love to see more a positive hope that yes, there might be storms, yes, there might all be all sorts of things, but there is a we can live peacefully. It might not make an exciting action movie, but this is for me. I think that we realize there is a possibility when we wake up from this inhumaneness, that we wake up within ourselves in that light again, what you point out so beautifully, that actually there's hope to have a peaceful society. And no matter if the storms or whatever ecological stuff happens. And I think that is a really powerful message. Again, I'm looking forward to it.
It's on writing and drawing right now, and our societies are based on fictions. So if we tell the story that we all gonna die or fight for a can, that's what's gonna happen. And if we tell ourselves another story that we are bound together, if we harm the other, we harm ourselves, and we can tell a whole different story, and it can change the world. And if many others start telling a different story, actually it could happen. It's really up to you. So
thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think that is a really powerful thing what you're saying, that we can change the story, but we have to be willing to change. And can we change that story to something more positive, where we are living in a peaceful society, where we realize we're all interconnected, therefore be love. It doesn't matter what we believe, how we dress, what we are. Ultimately we're all this light. And the more we start to realize that, I think is really essential. So yeah, fantastic.
So that's it, and then maybe a movie about love, love,
That's
and the
great.
way
Well,
romance has put down in a narrow box, and how can love is really way more wide than that.
well, if you need a main actor, I will boost up my acting
I was
skills.
actually thinking of casting you, Frans, and I told the production about you, and they saw the pictures, and really they are waiting for the auditions.
I'm waiting for the go ahead. That's great. Hey, thank you so much for talking to you. And yeah, good luck with this project. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to spread the word here. And yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Frans. And I'm looking forward to read your book, your upcoming book.
Yeah, exciting too. We keep spreading the message.
Thank you very much, Frans, and hope everyone will enjoy the clip as much as you did.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.